day.
I missed so many like 3-foot putts. It was
Well,
unreal.
that pin placement.
Oh, yeah.
I went out there on the highway to hit some balls, you know, and Joe was out there, and I drove by 9 green, and I saw where the flag was at, and I said, Joe, he says, I didn't do it.
Oh, every one of them was
I
this
know.
far away from
Weren't
the
they?
edge.
Weren't they?
Any hill that there was, the 4 hills that are out there,
Seven.
yeah, that valley. I knew it was gonna be there one of the days. It always is. 6 was pretty gettable on Sunday. I didn't mind that one.
Yeah,
Kinda nice not being tucked by the pond for once.
yeah.
You gonna play in the Calcutta?
I'd like to.
The 4-man?
Yeah, I'm talking to Nettie about it, if I can, I'm not gonna be here this weekend, but I think so.
I think that, I've never done it. It sounds like a fun format though.
Yeah.
Where do you normally golf at?
Just Jessup.
Oh. Same as you time?
I mean, I usually wander around the 10 different courses throughout the summer, you know, but
I've been out there a couple times eating supper. I can't think of. Who like is in charge of the greens up
Scott Rolfson,
there? Oh,
my nephew.
oh, so that's not close.
so he has like a bunch of them, right?
I was thinking one of them was like a brother to Kerry Youngblood for some reason.
Gene?
There's just, I've been in there when I've had their meetings, and listened to them talk about all the details of sand and pitch and angles, and it's like, holy cow. Go on about this course and that course. They really sounded into it.
Sounds like you're gonna try to get that cart path on 4 page next year. I know, he needs it bad.
Does it work? The computer's working. At home, it didn't
Gonna do
work
some sort of
last
fundraiser
night,
tournament
so
right away in the spring.
I'm laying there
Something like
thinking,
that,
It's a good idea.
yeah.
well, I'll take down City Hall out. No, 'cause I remembered how we did it.
Connected.
Everybody else
And
uses the
then
golf course for a
it-
fundraiser. You think the golf course
So I
needs
turned this
itself for a
on.
fundraiser once in a while.
You think,
You're connected.
it's a good idea, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
So that was good.
If only somebody would have thought of it. Right?
Hi, Greg.
And I'm gonna try tonight with your laptop?
No, it's sitting over there, Charlie.
Oh, okay.
It's on, I'm
Uh,
not sure if it's gonna work, but it's on. I had 27 minutes on my battery, and I think we can get out, we might get out here in 27 minutes.
Absolutely.
I think so.
Sure.
Like a positive.
Way to be optimistic.
Yours is struggling.
Welcome to Dave and my world.
Operator error.
I don't think so, buddy.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. failure.
TEF.
Computer doesn't bring up PDFs.
Hi, Josh.
Did we get reimbursed for schooling or anything
We have not yet.
by anybody?
We anticipate that we will. I mean, that's what they're saying. They're
They
gonna
have to make that a part of their employment contract. They leave within the first X period of time.
It is.
Whenever they leave to, pays us back for their schooling.
Oh,
They actually put it in writing,
yeah,
their employment contracts.
which most of them do anymore now anyway.
Oh, the law enforcement ones? Yeah,
Oh, they do, oh, so it isn't,
It's not in the contract
it's not in yours here.
that the next department pays it.
Oh, that the next department pays it.
reimburses us for our expense for training an officer.
So it's in the contract that somebody has to pay.
Right,
Employee,
Well,
it's the,
We
it's
already
the,
paid.
We have to put it on the employee because
It's
they're our
employees.
employee.
it's the
right.
employee's
You know
contract.
what I mean?
It's the employee's contract, we can't bind a third party. But we can require the law enforcement officer to pay us
But
back pro rata based upon how
They're
many
all
years they
paying
stay.
now. It's, I mean, it's just,
Yeah,
it's the nature of the game now, is you have to pay it off. And we actually, the last time they did the contract, we went through quite a bit and actually added a lot to it, hoping that would help. As much as we could legally add.
yeah, you can add the uniforms, you can add the cost of the wages that you pay while they're at the law enforcement academy.
Pay somebody to cover.
And what you pay somebody to cover their stuff. The code section lists everything you can ask for, and if they violate the contract and don't pay you back, you can send a notification to the state and they'll decertify the officer.
Oh, my God.
But you have to get a judgment for their not paying the bill.
Yeah.
So you gotta sue them in small claims,
So
get your
could we,
judgment.
could we add some
You
sort
can't
of-
add pain and suffering, I just
No, no,
gotta
no,
ask
no,
that.
no. I'm thinking some sort of a training fee. We should be paid for, since we're.
On-the-job training.
Training
Oh,
these people, and then they all leave.
You can only get your actual costs, you can't get like an ethereal,
We'll dream
Well,
something up.
What he's saying is though, if you're paying them for, say, 2 months of training time.
This way, Tristan's been here, how long has the last 5 officers been here before they left? 5 months average?
Last 5? Not necessarily, because.
Okay, these young bucks.
It's hard to average that out, but.
so did he sign one of the contracts that says you have to pay us back for the law enforcement costs and the training and all that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so he's required to pay us back.
I'm not a
Heather.
fee because we're a damn good training department.
We haven't started the meeting
Sorry.
yet.
I'm having a conversation with him.
Yes, but we have a
I don't take
quorum.
anything back.
Sorry.
They're not
They're not participating.
New employers to reimburse them for it.
And most of the time they don't.
That's what I was.
Okay, we'll
Start our meeting. If somebody leaves within 6
I'll
months,
explain.
additional income.
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Button down.
Could the clerk please call roll of the council?
Denny Bell. Curtis Shares.
Here.
Dave Bishop.
Here.
Craig Wright.
Here.
Todd Rolfson.
Here.
We have a quorum tonight. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed signify by saying no. That motion passes. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? That'll be a roll call vote.
Shares.
Here. Yes.
Bishop.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Rolfson.
Yep.
Then we have a public hearing regarding the adoption of proposed code of ordinances. I need a motion to open the public hearing.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed signify by saying no. Public hearing is now open. Have we received any oral or written objections?
We have not.
Is there anybody that would like to address the council? Seeing none, I'd ask for a motion to close the public hearing.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed signify by saying no. Motion to close the public hearing passes. Then we have the first reading of an ordinance adopting the proposed code of ordinances. Do you wanna explain this, Coley?
Yeah, so this is just like readopting the whole code as a whole, because we're transitioning over to the code being online, and we had to add the zoning ordinance into the code. And so when you do that, you have to readopt the whole code, just to get that, because that zoning ordinance is, I don't know, 50, 60, 70 pages, whatever it is. So we have to do the whole code as a whole, page 1 to page 700, whatever it is. So, that thick. Yes. Yes.
So do we have a motion to adopt the first reading of the ordinance?
Second.
Any discussion? That'll be a roll call vote.
Shares,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Rolfson.
Yep.
Bishop.
Yes.
And
Move away the second, third readings. Second.
any discussion? A roll call vote again?
Wright,
Yes.
Shares,
Yes.
Rolfson.
Yep.
Bishop.
Yes.
Do we have a motion for final adoption?
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote?
Bishop,
Yes.
Rolfson.
Yep.
Shares,
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
And that ordinance is adopted. Anyone for citizens input? We'll move on to departmental reports. Got something you wanna add?
I wanna add, if that's all right. I figure we kinda already opened it up, we may as well talk about, the fun employment stuff right now and the hiring and, so obviously, which we'll get to that, we have an officer that was resigned. Unfortunately, this officer and the last officer, their reason for leaving, obviously I've talked to both of them, their reason for leaving is basically monetary. This most recent one is taking a sign-on bonus and about $5 an hour extra in wages. Oh, there was something else too that was kind of a perk. Well, the fact that he lives in the town that he's gonna be working in, I suppose that's probably a perk as well.
And they're
This
paying
officer-
off his contract.
What's that?
They're paying off.
And they're
his
paying
con-
off his contract. That would be another perk as well, which, the contract we have for him is just a touch over 14,000. So, which is a pretty significant amount for a contract for us. So, like I said, last time we did this contract, we were able to, we actually talked with Heather. We got as much into the contract as we could, just as some kind of leverage to try to keep somebody around, but it doesn't matter anymore because most of these towns will just pay those contracts off. So, I suppose to a degree. And then both of these officers that have left have actually been approached by these other departments. One went to the county, one went to the city. So I guess the only thing that I want to bring to your attention is that at some point we're probably going to have to look at that again. I know we just raised our salaries up. Unfortunately, the pool is getting smaller and smaller of law enforcement applicants. So might have to consider at some point a sign-on bonus. May have to consider raising rates again. So, or raising wages. So just something to keep in mind. And obviously, if we do get somebody that is already certified and has a contract somewhere,
I think it's probably a must that we buy out that contract, so, last guy I just talked to has, I think, a $5,000 contract, so usually anybody that comes from Blackhawk County has about a $5,000 contract, cause they don't put anything else into them now. So, just something to keep in mind, I guess, I just wanted to put that in the back of your head, and hopefully everything goes well this time around. We have one application as of now, so, I don't presume they're gonna be flooding in. So, we'll see what happens, but, we didn't put a deadline on it, we said open till filled, so I figure if anybody's got any interest in it, then hopefully they'll get it in sooner than later, but we'll give it at least a couple weeks, I think.
Josh, do you know, do most smaller cities like us have sign-on bonuses?
They're coming.
Are they?
They're coming. Independence has a new sign-on bonus. That's something completely new for them. I would say probably a little over half of the ads I see have a sign-on bonus, and they're usually not until a year later. So I mean, it's not like you're handing them over the $5,000, which is commonly what they are. You're not handing it over right away. They're either getting through probationary period or it's after completion of a year. So I would like the completion of the year more so than the probationary period. So, but yeah, that's what I'm seeing. That's what's happening. I heard that Blackhawk County had just asked the Board of Supervisors for a $3 raise across the board, and I think they're working on a sign-on bonus as well. So, they're boosting it up. I mean, they gotta have cops, so just something to think about.
What are the other small towns, are they close to us? Like Dyke and Hudson?
The other small towns that are doing them,
No, then like per hourly wage.
I think actually right now, I think we're pretty close. I don't think we're too far off from what the other ones are paying, but I mean, they're continuing to go up. The big cities are gonna go up first. The big counties, the big cities, those are gonna go up first because they're the ones that, well, they can do it for one. I mean, they can make it happen a little easier than we can. Obviously we have a budget that we're working off of, and obviously we could make changes on that if we had to, but it's a little harder for us to do so. But I would see like Hudson's running with, correct me if I'm wrong, you do Hudson as well, right? They're running with 5 full-time officers right now, last I heard, but they're also hiring. Do you know what they're doing? Do you have any idea what they're doing for?
They're doing the same employment contract that we did here, where you have to do reimbursement for all of the costs. They didn't have the clothing vendor costs in theirs, so we're adding that. That only came up because he said it's how frequently is it that the same exact body size comes back, that I'm able to reuse the same stuff that I bought. So
Yeah.
we added clothing vendor costs to the reimbursement. The question I got there is, can we add some sort of pain and suffering expense into the law enforcement contract because we've taken the effort to train somebody and here they've bailed again? The answer I gave them was no, you can't, because there's a code section that specifically provides what exactly you can put in the contract for reimbursement if they leave.
Yep.
So, you can only ask for the costs incurred by the actual agency, including the fees to the academy, clothing vendor costs, meal costs, uniform equipment costs, the officer's salary paid during the academy, and you can only do that for within 4 years. So,
Yeah, and I think we did fuel costs as well.
yep, so again, it's actual costs, you can't, so I don't know if that's exactly what you're asking me, but what
How about
they,
a sign-on bonus? Are they doing that yet?
I didn't ask him that, but I
Okay.
can ask him.
And I didn't really look at I just seen they put out an ad. I didn't read it. I don't know exactly what was in that one, but, I have a feeling, I see them going back down to 4 officers at some point, or at least if they're at 5, they can function better at 4 if they do lose somebody. Where, I'm not asking for that, so don't think I'm asking for another full-time person yet, but, we're not at that stage yet, so.
Yeah.
He's just informing us, but then he's
I
not
will-
yet asking for it.
Yeah, I
Right, I'm
will
not,
add
I'm
that
not
it's,
asking yet.
I like that.
it's been a problem.
Politician.
But it's right there. I just put it right there, didn't I?
It's not a new problem, but I think Fairbank turned over an officer they turned over 3 within 4 years.
Yeah.
So it's not, this is not a brand new problem.
Oh, no, it's definitely nothing new. I mean, if you can hang on to somebody for a couple of years, you're doing pretty good. this size town. So there's always other opportunities, and now there's a lot more opportunities because in these bigger cities, the pay's going up. So just makes people want to leave that much quicker. So it'll be a constant struggle, always has been. So. Question? Comments? Concern?
It's hard to follow that up.
Well, let's talk fire department real quick. I mean, that was a very nice gift
No.
that they received. Very nice gift. And the city sending a thank you as well. City should. Send some sort of.
I acknowledged back to the attorney. I don't have any contacts for the family directly, but I did acknowledge back to the attorney immediately. Yes. So, yeah, that was very nice.
Okay with what their report states, what they're being ready for. I mean, it made sense. Very excited. Very excited.
Anything else in departmental reports?
I'll just add one thing, that I really appreciate the city's flexibility with my schedule the last 3 weeks. So I was able to ride Ragbri and work remotely from Rhode Island, and I appreciate that opportunity. So thanks for your flexibility in my schedule.
So that was your picture you put out here then?
I,
before you came?
I did not put I had nothing to do with that. It was
Not the rumor I heard.
Yeah, it's not the rumor, yeah.
It was a wonderful surprise. Thank you to all involved. It literally made my day, my week, and my year. It made it made it, I very much appreciated it. Everyone who was involved in it, I very much appreciated it. I actually was standing there looking at it, and a dude was taking a picture of it that I didn't know. And I walked up to him and I said, "Why are you taking a picture of this?" And he looked at me, and then he looked back at the picture, and then he looked at me and he went, "Oh, that's you!" I said, "Yes, it is." So that was kind of fun. That was a fun
I'm
little.
actually disappointed it's not hanging in here.
It was entertaining.
I tried. It doesn't hang.
It doesn't.
It's too heavy.
And on that note, Jessup did a wonderful job with Ragbri. I thought it came off without a hitch. I was through here at about between 6:45 and 7:30 that morning, and it was a great crowd buying breakfast, and it was moving really, really well.
It was a blur. No, on that note, I'd like to thank all the city employees and stuff that were down there. I know Danny and I were helping with garbage, and it was tough keeping up at times.
It was fun.
Good. I'm glad it was fun.
Funish.
Anything else for departmental reports?
Nice report, Kendall.
If not, we'll move on to new business. First, we have an engineering agreement with Fairgram for 220th Street Sanitary Sewer Extension. I had actually been approached by Mark Bird now. He's getting ready to sell his old dealership. I think it's a lease now, and they're looking to purchase it here soon. So he was asking about the possibility of extending sanitary sewer further up. Right now, we're just taking it to the southeast corner of his property, and his sewer comes out on the north side of the building. So he said that he would give the city an easement. We could cut across his parking lot parallel to that box culvert, which would make construction a lot easier. If we would bring it up there to his building, then he said if we wanted to, he would annex where the Tangled Salon is. If we brought sewer up to there, Which at that point Kathy Friedley has been asking for years to get connected to city sewer, and she would volunteer to be annexed. So that, it's pretty much everybody along that strip except for Darrell Else. I haven't talked to him yet, I'm guessing he's probably not too excited about being annexed because he already has a functioning septic tank and there's really no benefit to him, but the other ones would all agree to be annexed, and we would actually have to include Darrell in the annexation because Kathy Friedley's property wraps around him, and that would be creating an island if we didn't. But we can include him as part of the voluntary annexation as a non-consenting property owner to prevent creating that island. So I want to bring this to the city council, see if that's something that you'd be interested in extending sanitary sewer up there. If we get the application for voluntary annexation from at least the two. Lucas put together a cost estimate to bring the sewer up there.
Should we talk to Eric as well? I mean, should we just take this opportunity to talk to everybody along?
I know, I've talked to Eric at different times, because he had trouble with the septic system. I think it's okay now, but he could definitely possibly be interested too.
Start talking to everybody along there and see what they all say.
Yeah, right, if they're willing, and all we gotta do is bring sewer up there, I think it would be good for long-term interest of the city to get that property annexed.
Is the Finnegan annexed?
No,
They don't have sewer either.
no, they're on a septic system. On the south side of the highway, the only B&B and then Birdnound's dealership, and then all the way up to Emerald Acres are the only thing that's annexed into the city right now. I think they all have water service now.
They all have water service.
So really, the only extra thing the city can offer them is sanitary sewer at this point. They pretty much get all the other benefits of the city already.
I agree with Todd, I'd talk to them all. I mean, if you can get the clinic and everybody, then, let's say, hey, you're bookended in, and, I mean, it might make sense if we're gonna spend the money to start digging.
Right.
Now's the time to do it, I would think, but.
Do this is how much?
173,000 is what Lucas estimated.
That's just to get to the trailer court.
900 feet,
Yep.
it looks like. So are we approving this contract now, or this is just an estimate? Or we're just talking about it?
This is an estimate. There is an engineering agreement that Lucas put together to design the sewer.
For 17.5.
Yep.
Yes.
So should we wait with that until you talk to everybody, or until Curtis talks to everybody, or till what? I
Yeah,
mean, we might as well reach out and see if, because if it gotta keep, let's just say the
right.
clinic says yes, and I mean, then it makes sense to keep going that way, or we go the other way, or?
Probably to keep coming from this way, because Sixth Street's kind of the high point there, so. I think, Mike, we can get sewer all the way up to Sixth Street? Is that the thought?
I know I can get it to the clinic, so I can get to 7th for sure. I am not looked a whole lot further. than
Well,
that.
but
I'm
that-
pretty sure I can get it.
That could go the other way
Yeah,
down
once
Worcester
you get-
Road.
Like where, Fairfields is there. Once you get to that point, it could go south. It could run the sewer line the other direction, come down Worcester, connect in with the sewer main. And your separate line we have down further that way. So right now, yeah, I was only looking at going to the clinic. I think it's about as far as we want to go with this one.
I don't have a problem with any of this, but I guess
Yeah, I'll talk,
Craig was saying, why don't we just sit tight or approve it subject to you talking to everybody and just make the changes as you find stuff out.
yeah. Yeah, I'll talk to the other property owners and then I'll whoever's interested will get the application for annexation so that we have that in place. But I just wanted to bring this to the
Shoot us
council
an email, and let us know you're involved.
to make sure that you were interested in doing this before we took it a lot further.
What would it do to, business owners' property taxes?
If,
Like, I know what it does to residential, but I don't know what it does to.
right, yeah, it increases their property taxes quite a bit.
That's why I said, I don't see a ton of people willingly doubling their property taxes. But maybe for sewer.
Yeah, that's, and like I said, they're really getting a lot of the benefits of being
Yeah,
in the
that's
city
right.
already, so.
The cost of fixing the septic system and bringing them up to date is usually pretty substantial. So the idea of just running a straight pipe into our sewer and then us dealing with it is a lot more attractive.
Those older septic systems?
Yes.
Ah, that
Yeah.
might, that
They sell,
might
they
be,
gotta bring one today no matter
Right,
what.
that's
that might be your
burnout
hook.
situation, he's selling, and Kathy
That makes more
Friedley
sense.
can't put any more mobile homes in there because
That's-
her septic system's not
That's your
compliant.
leverage.
So if she gets hooked up to sewer, they'll move more mobile homes in there, but she can't right now.
Right.
So that's why those two are interested. But yeah, it definitely wouldn't hurt to ask the others.
Yep.
So,
Do we want more mobile homes or not? I mean, I don't know, I'm just asking a question.
I think that's a valid question.
I mean, really, do we want, on our main drag, do we want more mobile homes there?
I don't, maybe she'll sell it, we can do something else with it.
I don't know, I'm just asking a question.
Yeah.
right?
Most of the lots that she would have available would actually be behind Daryl's. She's got a long piece of property that runs back along
Okay.
there, and that's where a very early plan of hers actually showed more going down through there. So it used to be a longer drive. It's not like you're gonna see more directly facing South Street or anything like that.
I don't think there's a place for anyone.
Right.
Well, there used
The
to be a
aerial
lot
photo
more.
here says that there's not.
There used to be a lot more in there, back in the day, right there on South Street.
As far as I know, that's always, that big grass area, that's their whole septic system up front right now. I don't think there's ever been anything there, but I don't know that for a fact.
Oh, are these the mobile,
Mm-hmm.
far left corner, those
Yeah.
are mobile homes?
The other
Oh,
back
is it
there.
going back there?
You really can't see these, 'cause
Where do city limits stop?
Bird now is
This is
annexed.
Bird now, right here.
Yep.
This is annexed.
Annexed?
Benson Shady Grove.
that's
think
that,
somewhere-
that's
The
that
trees aren't
tangle,
though.
that's a building by Bird now, but that's when he is.
So you think somewhere, you think city limits is somewhere
Yeah.
out here?
Yeah.
They say.
And I think this is the project we're talking about to use the American Rescue Plan Act money that we got funded.
So, what's easier for Lucas, waiting and doing a contract with lump sum after you determine whether or not you're gonna be extending further, or doing this lump sum design now? See what I'm saying, are you tabling the agreement from Lucas now on this, or what are you contemplating?
I think
I don't-
it's gonna change. If he gets two or three more on there, it's gonna change, everything's gonna change.
Yeah.
17.5 will turn into
That's why I'm asking.
22.5,
Right.
and 173 will turn into 174.
That's why I'm asking if you're tabling the agreement with Lucas now until you get a better design.
I think that makes sense.
Well, and I think we probably wanna have the application for annexation before we start
Correct,
designing this too.
correct.
We'll
So,
pay
in the next-
above and beyond to change it again, so.
Yeah. I think in the next, we can bring it up at the next council meeting.
Give you something to do.
So do we wanna table this till the next meeting?
Yeah. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed signify by saying no. Motion to table passes. Then we have a resolution approving contract and bond for the drainage ditch improvements with Hudson Hardware.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? That'll be a roll call vote.
Bishop,
Yes.
Rolfson, Shares,
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
That resolution passes. Then we need a motion to accept the resignation of police officer Tristan Dilly.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? Roll call vote?
Shares,
Yes.
Rolfson, Wright,
Yes.
Bishop.
Yes.
Then we have a resolution approving the hiring of part-time police officer and setting the salary. This would be to hire Tristan back as a part-time officer. Josh, you think he will work as a part-time officer?
Him, yes.
And do you know, does he have any, like, probationary period in independence where he can't work anywhere else?
No. Initially, did,
Okay.
specifically asked to make sure.
Do we have to make that decision right now, or can we wait till we see what we got for applications before we, I don't know if that's good or bad to wait, or take him on as a part-time now, or wait till we know we need one, or?
I think you could wait. I mean, obviously up to you guys.
Does that help you out at all with scheduling?
To keep it?
If we hire him as part-time right now, since you're down an officer?
Yes. I think it will, yes. But I have no idea what his days off and stuff are right now, but either way, I think it'll be beneficial. I don't even know what shift he's gonna be working, but he's already got equipment and everything else, so I don't think it'll hurt, you know, to keep him. I have one officer right now that's just unofficially, that's a part-time officer that's gonna be gone. He doesn't work, he doesn't communicate well, and he's gonna be gone here very shortly. We're actually working on that today. So in theory, it'd fill a spot that's already there.
Guess, do we have a motion to hire Tristan as a part-time officer?
I make a motion to hire him as part-time, mainly to help with the scheduling, you know, on the police department right now until we can get somebody else hired as full-time. And it'd fill in a hole that we have, and he's familiar with the cities. That's why I'd make that motion.
Do we have a second? Any discussion? It'll be a roll call vote.
Shares? No. Wright,
No.
Rolfson?
Yep.
Bishop.
Yes.
Okay, that resolution does not pass. We have a resolution hiring the part-time officer for our part-time library assistant director and setting the salary. This would be to hire Becky Weirspan.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call vote?
Bishop,
Yes.
Rolfson?
Yep.
Shares?
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
That resolution passes. Now we have resolution approving payment for Sixth Street Improvements Project Phase 2. It's for $173,079.22 to Hudson Hardware.
When's the change order gonna hit?
I don't know yet.
Probably next meeting, it sounds
Yeah,
like.
by then. I upfront about that in the beginning, that I wasn't really sure how that water main was gonna work underneath there. We did find that it was not how we had originally thought, or how I had originally thought. So we ended up doing an extension of the water main, so there's gonna be some extra pieces of pipe cut in for that. We also took out some old fire hydrants, quite a few old valves, so I think we really cleaned that up quite a bit with the changes we made, so. The big change order just for a few more sticks of that, and, we actually ended up adding a 12-inch valve, which is quite expensive, $2,300 for one of them, so. Plus installing everything, so, yeah, there'll be a change order coming for the additional more parts. Other than that, I think everything else should be coming pretty close to the totals we have. I think we're over on a few things, on most of the street poured back by the end of the week. They took a couple extra samples for brake testing, so hoping that'll actually be able to be open back up by the 23rd, so we have it open back up before school starts. That's the goal, but strength test on the concrete will be the deciding factor on that. I'm not saying the whole project's gonna be done by then, but the road should be open back up. Okay.
We still need a second on,
I'll second it.
any further discussion? Roll call vote?
Shares,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Bishop,
Yes.
Rolfson.
That resolution passes. Then we have resolution setting fees for the city of Jessup.
So, this is the last piece of getting the code onto the online versus the book. We've already approved this resolution once, and I did it as two separate resolutions. I kept the water and sewer separate from all the other fees, and Iowa Codification wants it all as one resolution. So they're gonna put this one resolution at the end of the code section online, and then it gets referred back to each individual section wherever it's at in the code, but it's gotta only be one resolution.
So there'll be a link in the code, if it says set by resolution, you can click on the word resolution, and then it'll take you to
Take
that
it to
page.
this resolution. Yeah, but it only can be one resolution. So this is the last piece of getting the code online. So none of the fees changed from the two resolutions that we've already approved.
When were
I
these
just
fees set?
put them into one.
1950?
You just said them 2 months ago?
Yeah, we just did the two resolutions earlier this year as two separate resolutions.
I don't think we changed much on them.
No, I don't think we changed much on them. So, and we can always pass a new resolution at any point in time if we want to change a fee. But yeah, we did just approve these two resolutions earlier this year.
We need a motion?
Yep.
I'll make a motion.
Do we have a second?
Second?
Any discussion? It'll be a roll call vote.
Shares,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Bishop,
Yes.
Rolfson.
That resolution passes. And do we have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed signify by saying no. Adjourned at 7:35.